Welcome to the part 3 of the video of Athlon 245. I just want to give you an update that I made. I do apologize for the last week that I couldn't post anything. I was, as always, busy doing something else. I just want to show you a couple of things that I made here. I just added right here another fan. There is 80mm, actually cooling down the VRM of the motherboard. When you make this kind of overclocking, you have to make sure that the VRM here for the CPU is actually running very nicely. I mean, not very hot, because unfortunately this motherboard doesn't have the radiators installed here on the VRM, and I had to improvise something else. And this fan right here is made by Max, and yeah, it gets the job done very nicely. It just cooling down the VRM. The another thing that I made, I just added another 1 gigabyte of DDR2 667 megahertz, and right now we have 3 by 1024, and the second model is the 2048, and they're running at the speed of 533 megahertz, and we have a total of 5 gigabytes of DDR2. The timings for the memory are 44412. I also changed the CMOS battery, the Chris Richards 2032 right here, and right now the motherboard actually remember all the settings that I'm making in the BIOS, such as the overclocking and the other feature that is installed there, and yeah, so I can adjust from. I switch. I removed the power supply that was for the motherboard. That was the 500 gigabytes, and the second that was installed right here, the 750 watts, the Delta incorporated. And I also hook up this build to the power supply that I have, the Navitas series 1250 watts. It is overkill for this build, but I wanted to have stable overclocking for testing these parts in wherever I can, and right now I'm very happy with it. So the system is very stable. I didn't have any problems so far yet, any hiccups or something like that. The processor is still weak in applications and games, but according to the user benchmark, if I do a higher overclock, the system will become unstable. So I believe this is the limitation of the motherboard, that the enforce the best overclocking that I can get is from is the 3.6 or so. I have right here the CPU Z that is showing the frequency of the processor that I overclocked from the base clock from 2.9 is right now is running 3.673. I had to go into the BIOS and reset the settings that I made, and I have to decrease 100 megahertz. Before, in my previous video, I explained that I had 3.7 gigahertz. Right now I'm having 3.673, and right now the system is working fine. So yeah, the speed fan, I have it right here. I can control the fans, the bigger one and the ones that it goes for the hard drive, that is cooling down the hard drives, and I have no problems. So I can control it from here. This one too, the PMV2 and the PMV3. Yeah, I also installed the had.64, and we're gonna try to run some of the benchmark that is right here for the, such as for the CPU and the memory, of course. But first I want to show you the memory. As you can see right here, is set to DDR2, 5 gigabytes, 44412. And let's first let's go for the let's try this one for the CPU. Okay. So he says it's actually done, and our CPU is somewhere right here, 13 13 083, 13,000 points. We have the GA, the motherboard. It looks like that we are higher from the Core 2 Extreme X 6800. So this is fine also. And if we go back to the Queen, let's start this benchmark. And we are exactly down. Let's scroll down to see. We are above the Opteron of the 4-core Opteron right here. So we have the same result. Let's go to the second. The CPU photo works. I believe I choose twice. I think I made the test that I was previously made. I think I've done it twice, so I don't know why. Okay, so we have the Athlon. So we're above the Xeon E5462. The frequency does it is important actually. So let's move to the next one. We're above the Celeron N3150, running at 16 megahertz. Let's do a test for the memory first. The overclocking is actually worth it because it gives you the performance that you need, and also the extra RAM also is very important. Okay, so we are above no, we are underneath the Phenom 2 9500 running at 2.2. We do have a bigger frequency, but the quad core is actually better than the dual core always. So this is the result. And for the memory and for the write, let's see for the write what it says. And for the writing memory, we do have the Athlon right here. This is the 8634 megabytes per second. And yeah, this is how these things works. And yeah. Okay, I also installed the couple of the games that I wanted to show you. It can actually run the GTA 5 right here. So we're going to start from here and see how it actually does. What I want to show you is the on the dual core. Of course, is not recommended because the minimum specs for the GTA 5 is actually minimal. The minimal that it's actually requiring is the minimum quad core processor, and even though there we have the R920X, will not be enough. The graphics card is not fully utilized using this processor because you actually require the quad core. There's a lot of physics in the game, and the Athlon actually even overclocked cannot keep cannot keep up with the physics there. So you actually need more threads. Uh, it does work, but it's kind of choppy. So okay, we're gonna have to wait a little longer because for the loading times. Okay, so we have the character of the Franklin right here, and we're gonna go. What I did forgot is to turn on the fraps for the MSI afterburner. Let's try the MSI afterburner and minimize to the tray. And we're gonna go back to the game. Yeah, so we have 30 or so. So it is playable overall. We have the 30 FPS, the 45, 46. As you can see, the GPU is not fully utilized, as I said before. Phenom 2 quad core with 4 threads, it will have no problem playing this game at very decent frame rate. It's not like the Intel, but because the performance will be better for the Intel, of course. You see, sometimes the road is actually disappearing in this area. So yeah, it's not the best, but it is playable overall. So you can actually you can try playing this game, of course. Now the let's try another game. Let's try the Fallout 4. I haven't played that game, never actually. So I'm curious how it actually performs for the with this dual core combination. It says the game actually set it to the high. It actually detected the hardware pardon, and let's see what it does. The temps for the CPUs looks very nice. The 35. I don't remember if this game has built-in the benchmark. I do wish it actually had. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to check right here.
War. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the U.S. ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once felt the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of a total war,
It's very hard to play with one hand. Let's see if we find the... Seems that the GPU is starting to fully utilize 98%. This is very interesting. With the dual core. Let's try another gameplay and see how it works. I'm going to post another on the part 5th of the video so I can show the gameplay. Okay, let's see you in the 5th part of the video. Thank you for watching. Bye.